what if the sun disappeared right now? You won't believe what would happen. Imagine this without warning. In the blink of an eye, the sun just vanishes. It doesn't explode. It doesn't slowly fade away. It's simply gone. What would happen? You might think just darkness and cold. Think again. The truth is far more terrifying and fascinating than you can imagine. Get ready to find out what would really happen to Earth and to you if our massive star disappeared right now. That picture-perfect sunset, the warmth on your face, the energy that powers your morning coffee, all of it comes from the sun. It's the star at the center of our solar system. And for us here on Earth, it's the reason for everything. Without it, life as we know it wouldn't exist. But what if that source of life and light vanished? Not billions of years from now when it turns into a white dwarf, but right now, in a split second. Most of us would think, well, it'd be dark and cold. And yes, those things would happen. But the scale of the chaos, the speed of the changes, and the unexpected consequences are beyond what most people have ever imagined. We're not talking about a simple blackout or a harsh winter. We're talking about an event that would redefine existence itself. Let's unravel the first few hours of this apocalyptic scenario. What would happen to the light still reaching us? What would happen to the planet's temperature? And most importantly, what would it mean for life on Earth, including human life? Get ready, because the answers might shock you, and maybe even make you a little uneasy. So the sun is gone. What happens in the very first second? Here's the first, and maybe most surprising, thing. Earth wouldn't go dark instantly. For a full 8 minutes and 20 seconds, we'd still see sunlight. That's how long it takes light to travel the 93 million miles from the sun to Earth. It'd be like witnessing a bizarre, never-ending eclipse. But the moment that last beam of sunlight hits our atmosphere, boom, total darkness. No more daytime. Eternal night would begin, and with it, the real horror. But the light is just the beginning. The sun isn't just a spotlight. It's also the gravitational anchor of our solar system. The second it disappears, it's not just the light that vanishes, but the gravity that holds us in orbit too. Remember those 8 minutes and 20 seconds of light? Well, gravity also travels at the speed of light. So for over 8 minutes, Earth would continue its orbit like nothing happened. But after that, goodbye orbit. Our planet would no longer be pulled in its stable circular path. Instead, we'd be flung off into deep space in a straight line, at the same orbital speed we had before. Think about it. Earth would become a massive cosmic free-range chicken, hurtling through the vacuum of space at nearly 67,000 miles per hour. Where would we go? Nobody knows. We could crash into another planet, smash into an asteroid, or just drift forever in the frozen void. And the cold. Oh, it would be brutal. Without the sun, Earth would begin to radiate its stored heat into space. Within a week, global temperatures would plunge to around 0 degree F, 18 degree C. In a year, the surface could hit 150 degree F, 101 degree C. Most surface water would freeze solid, turning oceans into enormous blocks of ice. The atmosphere would begin to freeze, and life, dependent on light and warmth, would face its harshest test. Photosynthesis, the process that powers nearly all life, would stop immediately. Plants would die. Crops would fail. Oxygen production would slow. The food chain would collapse. Herbivores would starve, followed by carnivores. Even extremophiles, Organisms that live near hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor would eventually be affected by the long-term loss of geothermal heat. For humans, the challenges would be staggering. The extreme cold would make life on the surface nearly impossible. Our homes, our buildings, our infrastructure weren't built for constant sub-zero temperatures. Power grids would fail without solar energy and maintenance. Water would freeze in pipes and reservoirs. Survival would depend on finding or building sustainable heat sources and protection from the cold. Maybe underground bases powered by geothermal energy or nuclear reactors could support small communities. But global civilization as we know it would become a thing of the past. Humanity would be forced into a primitive struggle, fighting for every ounce of heat and every scrap of food. Yet, amid all this chaos, there would be a strange and haunting beauty. With the sun out of the way, the night sky would become something humanity has never seen. The Milky Way would stretch across the heavens with breathtaking clarity. We'd see billions of stars, distant galaxies, and colorful nebulae, with a brilliance we can only dream of today, even in the darkest corners of Earth. It would be a spectacular, terrifying sight. A final, glorious view before the end. So, what would be left? In our nightmare scenario, humanity might be reduced to tiny, isolated pockets of warmth, maybe in deep underground shelters heated by the Earth's core, or in submarines clinging to the last hydrothermal vents where life still thrives without sunlight. We would become the last keepers of a fragile flame, a precarious but resilient existence. Those questions we asked at the beginning: what happens to the light, the temperature, and life? The light would vanish in minutes. The temperature would fall to glacial extremes in months. And life, surface life, as we know it, would vanish. But all hope wouldn't be lost. Microscopic life, especially extremophiles, like certain bacteria and archaea that live underground or near underwater volcanoes, might survive. These true survival masters don't rely on sunlight. Life, in its most fundamental form, could continue, perhaps evolving in ways we can't even imagine. And Earth, this frozen, drifting ice ball, it would continue its aimless journey through the void, maybe for billions of years, until it crashes into something, gets pulled into the gravity of a distant star, or even disappears into a black hole. A chilling reminder of how fragile our existence is, how much depends on just one star. It's a terrifying scenario, yes, but also one that makes you appreciate the miracle of our sun. It gives us life, warmth, light, and the very stability we depend on. A powerful reminder that we are part of a vast, interconnected cosmic system. If this cosmic thought experiment shocked and fascinated you as much as it did us, and you want to uncover more secrets of space and our planet, then subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next mind-blowing video filled with science's wildest discoveries. Drop a like if this journey got you thinking, and let us know in the comments. If the sun vanished, what's the first thing you would do?